Meeple Nation Podcast, episode
572, Part B?
question mark? Yeah, definitely a question mark there.
Welcome, citizens, to Meeple Nation. Grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, warm up those dice, and join us at the game table as we discuss board games and the board gaming world. Each week, the hosts of Meeple Nation share their love for board games and the amazing memories that come from playing games with some very outstanding people. Let us now join our hosts in their natural habitat, the game table.
We are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I'm Nathan Howard.
I'm Dave Holliday.
I'm Moken Howard.
I'm Andy Holliday.
And I'm Douglas Stewart.
So...
Wait, why?
Yeah, somebody needs to be in charge of me. That's
Actually,
not me.
Nathan, you just gave a little bit of an extra treat to everybody. That's what happened.
Nathan just rushed an episode out. So last week, the astute listener may have noticed that there were 2 episodes that dropped because we rushed one out a week before it was due, and we just kind of felt like everybody needed a little something from the Meeple Nation folks today. So
Something extra.
So this is going to be a bonus episode.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of... we don't have a plan of what we're talking about. But
We're shooting from the hip.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure we had something.
Something had to release this week, right?
Yeah. And hopefully someone keeps me in check from now on.
Our podcasting overlords are strict, okay? I mean, they demand content, and they demand it now. So we will oblige.
We are the world's okayest podcast.
Most okayest.
The world's most okayest podcast, as is exemplified by releasing 2 episodes last week. And
I think we would be just the okayest if we weren't releasing a bonus episode. That makes us the most okayest.
All right. I'll allow that. I like that.
I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
We are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I am Douglas Stewart.
I'm Nathan Howard.
And I am Andy Holliday.
And when our powers combine, we truly are the mostest okayest of podcasts.
Absolutely.
With the mostest okayest of websites. Go on over to meeplenation.com to check us out. There you can find links to all of our past episodes, learn a little bit more about us, find links to the socials, find links to our SaltPOD podcast, which is like a little sidecast we're doing for SaltCON. You can go and check that out. You can also click on that Patreon link to become a patron of the show, which is something we would really appreciate. We love our patrons so much. And as always, please reach out to us at meeplenation@gmail.com with all of your burning questions and hot gossip.
Or jump on Discord. You can always
Discord servers
us there.
It's starting to get some traction. We love the Discords.
Yeah, we got conversations from across the pond, from coast to coast, and even some local hosts.
It's a good place to be.
That'll work. And we really would love to say thank you to our patrons, because as we are struggling, at least I'm struggling anyways, with trying. We've bought.
We have bought.
Wow.
Okay.
That is really well done.
Purchased is a word that may work a little better there.
Maybe, but I like botten.
Okay.
Wow.
World's okayest podcast here, folks.
Exactly. We have purchased some video equipment. We have purchased a video encoder. All of those purchases were permitted? That's still the wrong word.
Made possible?
Were made possible through those contributions of our patrons. And so we definitely want to say thank you. And hopefully, I would say
soon.
Yeah, I don't want to commit to anything. We're at least a month out of trying to work all the bugs out, get the glitches out of everything. But hopefully sometime soon, we will start airing some videos.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
The audio or the podcast will be available on YouTube, and you can watch us as well as listen to us.
I have mixed feelings about it.
Me too.
If you're a true glutton for punishment, you can watch us and not just listen to us.
Yeah,
for sure.
All this time and investment later, and people are like, oh, stick to the audio, folks.
To the audio, yeah. But also, going back to our podcast, back to our web page, we do now include show notes with our episodes. So if we talk about a game, chances are that game, there's a link on those show notes so that you can see any game that we're talking about there. Also on Thursday night around 6 to 7 to 8 o'clock Mountain Time, you can always jump onto our Discord. And we are streaming our Thursday night game night. So if you're interested, I don't know why you would be, but if you are interested, you can always chime in and say hi.
If you've got nothing else to do on a Thursday night, come say hi.
Yes, yeah. At least come say hi. And again, that's all on the Discord channel. Then tonight's episode is brought to you by Hot Tamales.
Wow.
Fierce cinnamon flavored chewy candy.
Does that mean I need to eat some more?
Yes, yeah. Let me hand those over to you.
I put those over there for a reason.
I know. I put them back over by you.
Trying to be good.
Let's get this started.
Okay, highlight 30.
Highlight 30. Yeah, we're not necessarily talking about games. I put on the show notes. Highlight 30 is movies, TV, books, work, other hobbies, anything is game.
Anything is game.
And we all made a bunch of notes, and then Nathan was like, okay, I think we can probably keep this episode a little short. And I was like, this will be one of our longer episodes ever,
I hope
ever
not.
recorded.
We'll see.
We'll see how brief.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how brief you guys can be talking about Daredevil.
Well, since you mentioned it,
Yeah.
Disney Plus has its new Daredevil Born Again series out, and I haven't watched any of it yet
Neither.
because I wanted to go back and catch up because it's been a while. And I always do that with most any show, like any show that comes out, the Umbrella Academy, whenever that new season of that came out, I would always start at the beginning, watch the second season,
Right.
watch the third season before I could watch the fourth season. And same thing with Daredevil for me. In the first season, the original Netflix season,
That was a good season.
it was a good season.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm on the last episode now, so work is suffering because I stayed up way late last night watching.
You're almost caught up with me. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch all 3 seasons of the Netflix series before I jumped into the new Disney Plus series. I am like 3 or 4 episodes into season 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll probably in a flow now, right? So I really, as soon as we're done recording, if it's not midnight, I will be watching some more. Maybe if it's even midnight, I'll probably still watch.
I will
some.
not. I will be.
I will finish the season.
I will be going to the gym and going to bed.
Yeah, you're a better person than I am.
That's not true, Nathan.
But I'm really liking Daredevil again.
It's great.
Revisiting it,
Yeah.
I'm very thrilled with the series. I think Netflix did a great job. Heard positive things with how the new Disney Plus one has gone, and I'm hoping that it holds up to my standard anyways.
Yeah.
My
I'm glad-
personal standard.
I'm glad they kept the original actors
Yeah.
for the new Disney
Yeah.
Plus series. That is going to make it awesome.
Well, that was the best part of the original Netflix
for
series was those
was.
characters, right?
Right.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah.
I recently did rewatch the first season. It's been a couple months ago. That hallway scene, right? There's that
Yeah,
one,
that
and it's all
second
like that one continual shot.
Yep.
Jumping in and out of the rooms and everything. And I just
when he's rescuing the little boy?
Yeah, they really did a phenomenal job with some of the like action choreography and the way that they shot that. It was really impressive. Hoping that some of that still comes through with Disney Plus, because it's obviously going to change production and art style a little bit, right? So maybe the same characters, but I would imagine that some of that will change. But I hope that they preserve some of those action sequencing, techniques that they used in that first Netflix.
Yeah, because in the second season they have that stairwell scene.
Yes,
where that's
where
all
they did
one
very
continuous
similar.
cut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very well done. I mean, with everything going on, kudos to the cameraman for not tripping over something. And that's
Oh man,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, and the fight scenes are brutal in that. I mean,
are,
they really are. They get intense.
a little too much for my wife.
Very
My
visceral.
wife's-
Yep.
My wife is very G-rated.
Yeah.
And, but I think it's especially for Daredevil, the character of Daredevil and his style.
Right.
I think they did a really good job, and I'm excited to revisit the Punisher again. So
Yeah, I have yet to watch that series. I am happy that it's on Disney Plus, so I can watch it.
Yeah, I never did watch that one.
So question for you then, Andy. Are you going to do the Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and the Defenders also before?
As well as Luke Cage.
Oh, Luke Cage. I really liked Luke Cage, actually.
Really, you're doing this to me?
Yeah, because they did a show for all 4 of the Defenders plus the Defenders series. Yeah.
Given the limited time I have to actually watch shows, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely will not be. That is time I do not have.
Yeah.
that's going to be pushing. It'll be like 2 years from now when I finally get to the new Daredevil series.
Born Again's in 2 parts, so you got 6 episodes, and
And then they're going to do another season that's only 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the episode count. I try to avoid spoilers, but that's some information. But even the Echo series I thought was not as strong, but I still enjoyed the Echo series and the Hawkeye series.
Yeah, I saw Hawkeye.
I think they did a really good job with all of this.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was.
So,
right.
I mean, I just, and I'm terrible with actors' names, but the guy who plays the Kingpin.
Oh, yeah, he did a great job.
He is phenomenal. I mean, he makes the show.
For sure. He does a great job.
Yeah. The
Which
Charlie Cox does a great job too, but
seeing him like on what was that?
Law and Order.
Law and Order. And he plays such a different character in Law and Order, very kind of a sensitive cop that's, wanting to get to the truth, and then he plays Kingpin, which is he's just brutal and ruthless. He does a great job.
Yeah.
Or Edgar in Men in Black, and
oh yeah,
and
I forgot that he played Edgar in Men in Black.
And he was in a war movie too, Full Metal Jacket.
I haven't seen that.
I don't think I've seen him in anything outside of Daredevil. But it's like I tell people, your heroes can only be as heroic as your bad guys are bad.
Yeah.
Right. And so, people always say, well, I like my wife and my mom, we get talking and they're like, oh, that's just so violent. And I don't know. I like those bad guys, they just are so bad. And, you hear this kind of stuff and it's like, well, yeah, but like, if you don't have a real threat, if you don't have real stakes, your heroes can't be that heroic. They can only be as heroic as the bad guy is bad.
Yep.
Well, and that's
and he makes a good villain.
That's what makes that show, honestly, is the intensity and the anxiety that's created from those villains, right? And
yeah.
And you're right, Doug. If that wasn't there, I mean, it'd be okay. It might still be worth watching, but the intensity and the anxiety it induces by watching that, I think that the it factor that show has would be missing.
Yeah. I mean, and the anxiety that causes the protagonist too, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, the Daredevil character is trying to deal with all those emotions, and especially in that first season, am I doing the right thing? Am I somebody,
right.
The priest is telling him, hey, you're, or not the priest, but Foggy's telling him, are you becoming,
right?
You didn't become this to be the city, the city made you into this. And, it's that personal dilemma of, am I the good guy? Am I the bad guy?
Yeah.
And then, then you introduce the whole anti-hero of the Punisher in there as well.
Yep.
And
yeah.
But anyways,
great.
Daredevil.
That's awesome.
Have either of you been watching the Wheel of Time series on Amazon?
I haven't. It looks good. Is it good?
Wow, that was weird.
So your phone thought that we were talking about that. So that's
Google was responding there in my pocket, and I'm like, yeah, I was trying to look which computer is that coming from?
Where's talking? No, Wheel of Time. I've passed over it many times, just thinking it looks good. I haven't heard really anything about it. Have you watched it, Doug?
Yeah, I would actually be kind of curious to know what people's experience who have not read the books is watching this show. I think that there are things that they cover well, and then I think there are other aspects that I'm just like, if I hadn't read the books, I would be really lost. I'd be like, why are we doing this? What is happening here again? Like, why is there this like society of like all female magic users, and why do they have all these colors, these groups that they're sort of segregated into, and all this kind of thing. The books were a really important part of my childhood. I mean, I've read these several times. It's one of my favorite book series. I really love them. I sort of a couple years ago came to the realization when season 1 of this show came out, I was like, okay, this is not going to be the books.
Right.
This is
based on.
I am definitely not going to get the experience that I want out of this show as a big fan of the books. And that was hard, difficult thing to sort of take, knowing that this series, this book series that I love was finally coming to the big screen, and it really wasn't, they weren't going to do it justice. But one thing I will say is there are moments. So if you're okay with it just sort of being like a based on the books kind of thing, and you just sort of always hold in the back of your head, like, I'll always have the books. Like, I can always go back and read the books. I've always got that to fall back on, and it's all good. And if you're okay with them just sort of taking it and kind of running with some of these characters and changing pretty much everything, not doing a lot of it justice, there are still moments that come through. And I would say season 1 and season 2, those moments were light. And with season 3, I've really noticed that some of those bigger moments from the series, and I think this is a little bit the showrunners recognizing that people sort of want some of these big scenes that were in the books to come through in some way, shape, or form. There's this really great scene from the books where Matt, who's one of the main characters from the Two Rivers, he's just this little farm boy from the Two Rivers, he takes on Galad and Gawain. They're these trained fighters, but he takes them on when they're at the White Tower with a bow staff and just kicks the crap out of them. Kind of unexpected, but it makes sense the way that it's written and how it all comes about and everything. And it's one of the best scenes in the books. And we didn't think we were going to get that out of the TV series. And it didn't come about in the same way, but at the end of, I think it was episode 3 of season 3, we finally got that really great scene. And it's a short, but I think pretty well choreographed fight. And it was a moment that I was like, it was like stand and cheer kind of thing. It was like, oh, we got it. We got the scene. It was really cool. And then we've also got some really great flashbacks in, I think it was episode 4 with Rand, and when he goes into the Pillars of Ruidian, which is something that takes place out in the Isle Waste. If you haven't read the books or seen the show, this means nothing to you. But they're just really great scenes and really great storytelling that we're starting to get these glimpses that are coming through. And we're finally diving into the dream world, Teleron Riod, and that stuff has actually been really well done. I've enjoyed that part of it. I don't know. Is the Wheel of Time finally getting good? Not really.
Not really?
But sort of. But like a little bit.
So I have not read the books. And
okay.
My wife has.
Oh, okay.
And so we watched the first season.
Okay.
And like you, she got very frustrated that
it's very frustrating.
Nowhere near it. So we never went on to season 2. I guess maybe when we get to a lull in our watching time together, maybe we'll come back to it. She was very frustrated. I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't mind the story. I'm kind of the person that if I start a show, even if I really don't like it, it has to be really bad for me to not finish it, because I'm a completionist. I want the story,
right?
How bad it is or not, I want the story. So I mean, like She-Hulk. She-Hulk was terrible. I really did not like She-Hulk.
I didn't even try.
And my wife's like, "Yep, I'm done. This is dumb. I'm not watching this." And I still had to finish it. And the end of She-Hulk, I was just like,
I heard it was horrible.
The end, the climax fight at the end was.
Didn't they interrupt it so that they could point the finger at toxic fans or something like that? It was like so weird.
Yeah, and she breaks the fourth wall, right, and jumps out of the TV menu, and then, I would do this, and I mean, so there's no fight between her and Abomination.
Oh yeah, great. That's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
wah wah.
Yeah, so Cheryl will quit a show when she gets done. So she was frustrated with Wheel of Time that it wasn't like the books, because she's a very avid reader. I enjoy audiobooks, but I haven't read or gone through the Wheel of Time, so I have no skin in the game to say.
Sure.
I think it's unfortunate,
I enjoyed it.
I think it's unfortunate when you have a season, like a series, instead of just a movie. You really have the opportunity to do the books justice in that case, right? In a movie, you understand.
Yep.
Kind of going along the same lines, Doug, with your question as far as people having not read the books versus having read the books. A season that my wife and I have started watching is His Dark Materials, based on the series His Dark Materials. And the first book in that is The Golden Compass. Well, if you recall, The Golden Compass, the movie, came out like a little over a decade ago, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
And my wife, when we started watching His Dark Materials, she's like, oh, this is making so much more sense. I was completely lost in that movie. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And I had read the books, so I knew what was going on. And I, with you, Doug, I didn't quite I probably would have explained a little more of what was going on to her when we were watching The Golden Compass. But yeah, I think a lot of that gets lost, especially in a movie versus a series. And His Dark Materials series has been amazing. It's been really good. And it's followed the books fairly closely. I mean, it's probably been 15 years since I've listened to His Dark Materials. We're still in the part where it's still the Golden Compass. They just got the Warbear on their side. They're about to go and rescue the kids that have been kidnapped, right? And so It's been around
Nice.
for long enough. It's a great series. They did the Golden Compass, and then they stopped because the movie just wasn't great.
Right.
So is this a new series that's just come out?
This is
recently?
on.
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO, and I had purchased the season 1, and then I was waiting for the other ones to come out. I actually found the entire series on Amazon, so I just bought the whole series.
Oh, okay.
So I have it on DVD. I don't have HBO.
So is it done now?
I believe so. I think they finished it. So because
And how many seasons is it?
I think it's 3.
Nice. Oh, well, I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, we started that. We got through the first episode, and then Cheryl fell asleep. So I was like, I'm gonna have to rewatch this. And then for some reason, we just never went back to it.
It's really good. It's one that I am looking forward to finishing. Unfortunately, we have our toes dipped into multiple series, so
Yeah.
it gets to what do we watch? My wife's been way into Star Trek Next Generation. She's
really?
flying through the Next Generation.
I tried to start those again
it's
when
so
we
good.
had a lull in what we were watching, and oh my goodness, that first season is so campy.
Yeah.
That's what makes it endearing, right?
No.
The Next Generation is what played just as I was getting home from school. Junior high and high school for me was getting home off the bus and running in so I could turn on the TV and catch the Next Generation. I like that. I mean, that's what I grew up doing. That was my after school routine, and missing an episode just killed me. Like, I still just remember that with such fondness. In the early days of my marriage, my wife and I rewatched all, I think it's 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And loved it. But I think now movie making and television shows, like, everything's progressed to the point now where I think, I don't know if we could go back and watch them again.
Yeah.
I have gone back to watch all of the original Star Trek.
Yeah, and I don't think I could do that.
Turn my stomach.
I actually enjoyed it. Yes, it is so cheesy.
Yeah.
But the stories are good, and if you just take it for what it is, it can still be enjoyable. And I've enjoyed watching them still. They're fun.
So Star Trek Next Generation, I mean, you can't beat the Borg, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
And
was the good stuff.
The new Star Trek series, progression of the Klingons, I'm like, in the original series, they weren't that Klingon looking.
Right.
Next Generation, I thought did a great job. The original Star Trek movies, I think did a pretty good job with the Klingons that they had in there. Is it Enterprise? I don't know I can't even remember the name.
The newest one?
Yeah. And they're just so beastly looking that I'm just like, you lost me on the transformation of the Klingons. Just me, a lot of people like the new series, but
Yeah, there's a lot of Trekkies out there.
the Borg, I loved the stories with the Borg. Star Trek First Contact, I thought was an excellent show. I'd watch that show over and over again.
I really enjoyed the newer movies.
Yeah.
I thought all 3 of those movies were really good.
Yeah, they were good.
Keep talking about making a 4th one with that same cast. Well, minus the poor guy that
Chekhov, that played Chekhov.
Yeah. Which I really liked him as an actor.
I did too.
I thought he did a great job in that role.
He did a great job.
All of that cast was a really good cast for that reboot.
Yeah, I agree.
A disappointment that they allowed all those actors to get going other places. And
Yeah, that's true. Another series that has coming out on Amazon is Reacher. Reacher season 3 has been trickling out.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Reacher at all?
Yeah, I just finished it.
I have read all the Jack Reacher books.
The
I've read
TV series is
almost
really good.
Almost all of them.
The movies, I didn't ever understand because they cast Tom Cruise, who's scrawny,
Yeah.
as was Jack Reacher.
And the first Tom Cruise movie, the actual movie was like okay. And I'm even kind of a Tom Cruise fan. But
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, but I was just like, this is not Reacher.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
There's no
a
way this is
monster.
Jack Reacher. Yeah. I totally agree. Now the second movie with Tom Cruise I thought was horrible. I actually did not enjoy that.
I
pretty
didn't
much
mind
at
it.
all. This new Amazon series, I think, has been really, really good. They've definitely done that character justice.
For sure.
It's one that I don't know if I'd have a lot of interest in if I hadn't read the books.
Yep.
I haven't read the books.
But having read the books, I especially like that first season, which was based on Killing Floor, which was the first book.
Yeah.
I mean, they really did do a great job with that. I thought it was really great.
Yeah.
I haven't read the books, and I have loved the Reacher series. It's been awesome.
Good. They are quite good. And season 4 already greenlit. We'll
Good.
get at least another season of Reacher. Those have been really good. I'm a huge Nathan Fillion fan. And
Me
so,
too.
yeah, Firefly back in the day and Serenity. Love those shows. My wife and I watched pretty much all of Castle. For the most part, really good. It kind of didn't end. Those last couple seasons were, they were a little middling at times. But
Well, it was definitely evident that the two stars
didn't get along.
didn't get along
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Very much so. But that was still one that we watched together and really liked. We both really liked Castle. His new show, The Rookie, started. We've been following that one, and they're in season 7 on that one now. And that has also been really quite good. We've enjoyed it. It hasn't been all great, but for the most part, it's been highly entertaining. We've really liked The Rookie.
Yeah, I started that. I think I got through the first 2 seasons, and I'm terrible. A show that comes out in a series, that comes out weekly or.
You prefer the binge?
I'm a binger.
Okay, sure.
I'm with you.
Well, there's 7 seasons now, so you can binge.
So I can go back and start it over.
You can go
again.
start binging.
But I did enjoy not Castle. I did enjoy Castle as well, but I enjoyed The Rookie.
Yeah.
I think I went through the first 2 seasons.
I think it's good.
So it's kind of funny we're talking about this, but yesterday I walked in to the TV room and my daughter and my son-in-law were over and they were all watching the Great British Baking Show. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So we sat and watched season after season last night. I got
season after season.
Or not season, sorry, episode after episode last night. I actually quite enjoyed watching this. They definitely make some British dishes that I've never heard of. Some of them I would love to try. Others I really have no interest in trying at all, ever.
And that show is flavored with a lot of British humor.
Yes, it is. Some of it is really dumb, and some of it,
which is great,
and some of it has had me on the floor laughing. So, which I think is British humor, right? Some of it sticks, and others maybe not so much. Like pretending to sit on a bush, and you're just like, okay, that was really dumb. But the other stuff that's a little more witty. Yeah. Cracks you up. And then there's a lot of stuff that's so unintentional, and that's really the stuff that had us going. If my wife gets into an inappropriate mood, then everything sounds bad, and she starts cracking jokes. And that really made those episodes even better.
I can see that.
So anyway, it was an enjoyable experience. We there were parts where I was crying because I was laughing so hard. So anyway, that was fun. I've also been watching Cobra Kai. Have you guys watched that at all?
I haven't watched this at all.
No, I haven't had any interest. But
I mean, Karate Kid was not anything that I...
Same, yeah.
I watched it, and I watched the second one, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I got to watch that again. I
wasn't either, but it's actually been pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people that have really... Facebook posts get filled with, oh, I'm excited, this season's coming out. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Cobra Kai.
So it's interesting because they've taken Johnny, who was the antagonist in the original Karate Kid, and they've almost made him kind of an anti-hero. He's still kind of the antagonist, but not at the same time. They've humanized him, which I think is cool. I think they've done a good job. They've made it to where he struggled in life. I think it's kind of funny that he lost this karate tournament when he was in high school, and it's like pushed his life into this dark place, and that's kind of silly and ridiculous.
I was going to say,
some of us are
don't know.
Still stuck in high school.
I don't know that any of my victories or losses in high school for anything have really affected me beyond high school.
Well, and on the flip side, for Daniel LaRusso, it was the opposite, right? He won that karate tournament, and now he's a super rich guy who owns a car dealership, and it's all karate themed, and he gives a free bonsai tree to everybody who comes in and buys a car.
Wow.
So there's some cheesy stuff, and you're like, okay, come on. But overall, it's actually been pretty good. It's been fun to watch.
There goes the hot tamales.
There goes the hot tamales.
Now we get to listen to Nathan chew on them.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I have discovered a new genre of book that I have been really curious about, and I've kind of enjoyed. These are literary RPGs.
Really?
So they're books like, fantasy novel like you might pick up, but they are, the character in them is almost like they're in a video game, basically. At first I thought that would be horrible. That is a terrible idea. And then I started listening to a couple series, and it's actually pretty good. I actually just finished book 8 of a series called He Who Fights with Monsters. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has been really, really good. Jason Asano is his name, and he wakes up mysteriously on another planet, naked and alone, and he has basically a user interface, right? He has a pop-up map and an inventory and all these things, and you're like, okay. But then he goes on this kind of crazy adventure and meets really interesting people and ends up being a character that you really kind of fall in love with, and you find out that his abilities are a little more normal for the world that he's on, and there's a whole magic system at play and everything. And you kind of discover that basically there was like a summoner on this other planet, and he performed a ritual and it didn't work, and it pulled Jason from our world into this new world. And as the series goes on, he makes it his way back to Earth, and there's a whole bunch of magic stuff that happens there. And then now he's back on the original planet that he got transported to. And great characters, great writing. I've actually really enjoyed it. I've been shocked at how much I have enjoyed it.
So does he have the skill dance fighting? Dance fighting.
He does not.
Or does he have a weakness
But
of cake?
that doesn't mean that others don't.
I mean, as soon as you just started describing the pop-up, the Jumanji popped in my mind.
Yeah.
And I have really, really loved those Jumanji movies.
A large part of the book is them leveling skills and sort of unlocking, there's a whole tier system where they start out at iron rank and then you make your way to bronze and silver and gold, and which you would think that's horrible. Like, why would I want to read that? It works in a video game, but why would I want to read it? But it's like done right. It's super interesting. I've been really fascinated by it.
So another series that I've read that goes kind of along that whole series, a little bit along that theme, is We Are Bob.
Okay.
It's called the Bobiverse.
Yeah, I have heard of this.
This is a guy who's made some computer program, and he's super rich, and so he decides he's going to go upload his memory and to a computer so that he can live forever. And just kind of as on the whim type thing, right? He wasn't like all into himself. As soon as he has that done and he's walking home or walking back to his car, he gets hit and he's killed. He comes online, and they have installed him into a satellite and launched him into space. And he's trying to evolve, and he's replicating himself, and he's gathering resources. It sounds really dumb, kind of like you wouldn't think that you would enjoy something like that. I think there was 4 books, and there's actually a new book that I haven't, at least one new book that I haven't read in the series. But I really, really enjoyed this. When he's waiting for something to build, or he just slows down his clock as time is going, normal time, but for him he just ramps back his time so that things are feeling like they're going faster. And so he goes through these huge evolutions, and then he runs into out in space. He runs into other satellites that of different countries. I think there's one from China and one from Brazil. He has to end up having combat with. And these satellites have also done the same thing, right? Where they've replicated themselves, and it's just really kind of bizarre and interesting. But I would very much recommend We Are Bob and the Bobiverse.
Yeah, well, nice.
I had a coworker recommend those, so they're on my waiting list. So I'll get to them eventually.
Maybe I just need to download some audiobooks and listen to some of these while I'm working.
I have an hour commute to work, and actually I haven't been listening to audiobooks. I've been doing podcasts, and because I have 4 books that I read every year: Atomic Habits, Before Happiness. Oh, I should not have said I have 4 books that I'm reading and not be able to pull them right off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to look those up. Self-reflecting 7
Habits of what is it? I know what you're talking about. It's by the Gottman. The Gottmans.
I try to read these every year.
7 Principles of something.
Successful Marriage or something like that. It's not just a marriage book. It's about relationships in general, and they've been very successful books. 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work, Before Happiness, The Happiness Advantage, and Atomic Habits.
Nice. I've been on a self-improvement kick myself. So the book I'm reading is actually the only book I'm reading currently, and that's No More Mr. Nice Guy. And it's so I can stop being so nice to you guys.
Yeah. That
How's it working?
Angry mouth.
It's working really good.
Is it?
Yeah. Not only is the mouth small and angry, now the eyebrows have started to point down towards the bridge of the nose. And
it's actually been a really good book. So it talks about toxic behaviors that the stereotypical nice guys have, and how they affect your interpersonal relationships and how to get out of those cycles. And it's actually a really good book. It's been interesting. That's by Dr. Robert Glover. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one that sounds like I need to read. Except I don't really read self-help books because I'm already as good as I'm
wow.
Get.
Sounds like
as good as I'm going to get, yeah.
Sounds like someone needs to borrow some books from me.
I got some more recommendations for you, too.
I'm sure you do.
TV shows. My wife and I just started going through the Big Bang Theory again.
Oh, did you really?
I really
Have you watched Young Sheldon?
I haven't. I tried, and it just didn't grab me like the Big Bang Theory did.
They had an episode where young Sheldon was talking about reusing rockets, and he came up with this big equation and showed it, and I said, that's never going to work. Elon Musk did a cameo for this. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and apparently he had this notebook, and at the end of the episode, it showed him
stealing the idea,
basically having it, and he pulls the notebook out of his desk, and he's like, yeah, there it is. So apparently he got the idea from young Sheldon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Big Bang Theory, there's Stuart Saves the World or something like that, is a new spin-off that they're trying to...
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I really enjoyed what they did with Big Bang Theory, and Stuart was the comic book store owner. I always found his real humorous. They're trying to pick up and include some of the other people, like the geologist that was always kind of monotone, and
okay, yep, I know who you're talking about.
A couple of those other people that were not regular members of the cast, but to kind of pick up on their story. I'm hoping that
I wish
successful.
them well. Spin-off series are never really that interesting to me.
Right, yeah. But these are some characters that I'm already somewhat invested in.
Sure.
So especially now revisiting and watching The Big Bang Theory again.
But then you're going to watch that and you're going to want the main characters to show up.
Absolutely.
Then you're going to be disappointed when they don't.
Yes. No, you are 100% right.
So that's usually what happens.
Yep.
So I have actually started a video game. I haven't played a video game in a while. And no, I say I started it, but I'm only like 2 hours into this, and it's been like 3 weeks. So 2 hours within the last 3 weeks, I've been playing.
So you're on fire is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. It's as I have an extra 15 minutes, I'll jump on and play for a little bit. But that is the original Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice.
Oh, really?
That was back in the golden era of BioWare. They made great games back then.
It's an old game. The graphics are terrible.
Yep.
Still an awesome game. I still really have fun with it. So,
yeah.
And I think I've played that all the way through like 5 times.
Oh, yeah. I loved that game.
I'd rather have a great game with poor graphics and all the garbage BioWare spitting out lately.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. So speaking of video games, I haven't played it, but I did purchase with my Google points for Android Neverwinter Nights.
Oh, really?
So I have it installed on my phone. I'm yet to open it or try to play it, but it is installed on my phone.
It's like the digital version of it still in shrink.
Yeah. You're a jerk.
Oh.
Fine, yeah, it's still in shrink.
Oh, someone has issues.
Awesome. I do. You are not wrong.
That's amazing. You know, at some point during this bonus short
15-minute
episode that we were doing, we ought to talk about some board games, which is I think what people kind of tuned in to hear us talk about. We do have some some yearly updates that I think we wanted to go over. The first one of those was games on our Shelf of Shame that we're getting to next. Now, Shelf of Shame was something I was a little more focused on this year. I don't know that was necessarily a focus of either of you to like try to get through stuff, but
my focus was 200 new games.
Okay, a lot of overlap there.
Yeah.
So what is a Shelf of Shame game that you are looking forward to getting played soon?
Well, we did start Ticket to Ride, the legacy version.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that. I'm actually playing with us. There's 5 of us that are playing.
Yes.
And I have a second copy that I'm playing with my wife, my daughter, and her boyfriend. We just played last night.
Which group is ahead?
We're actually right now like neck and neck. I think we were 5 games in each one.
Okay. Yep.
And so we've taken a little bit of a different path, and there's nothing I think that is revealing, at least not that I've experienced yet.
Right. So you'll have a huge advantage going into the future games with our group.
No.
Huge. That's all I'm hearing is that you'll have a huge advantage.
It is still Ticket
He'll
to
already
Ride.
know the story, and he'll already know what happens, and
it's going to be Seafall all over again.
Well, can you tell me one thing that the part of the story in Ticket to Ride currently?
Yeah, you're going to know which tickets to go for that have the postage, the postcards. Oh, this is a good one.
This is a good one, yeah. Because they are so important to the story.
Especially since they're all shuffled up and randomly handed out anyway.
Now, if Nathan wins, we know why.
The story is Something about trains.
The stories.
We are building trains, and we have our nemesis. What's her name? That's
Yeah, there's somebody.
good old what's her name?
Good old what's her name that's doing.
Mama O'Connell.
Mama
There we
O'Connell.
go. Mama O'Connell. That's great.
I have really enjoyed the Ticket to Ride Legacy experience.
Yeah, it's been
And-
really good, surprisingly.
Probably the next thing that I'm going to be jumping in right after that is the Flashpoint Legacy that just fulfilled. So I only have one copy of that, Doug.
Nice.
And so you'll be part of that.
Who are you?
Oh, really? Yeah. So
Shut
that
up,
one,
Andy.
that one won't be with your wife.
No,
And-
no.
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
Only one copy. That's crazy. That's crazy talk, Nathan.
But
Who are you?
Firepoint. Yeah,
Flashpoint?
Flashpoint. There you go. I knew I was still saying it wrong. I was like, Flashpoint is. I haven't played it for years and years, but I enjoyed it. It's a nice cooperative. I was going to say working together game, but then I nailed that when I said cooperative. But you're working together as firefighters to put out buildings and try to save people stuck in the buildings, and I'm looking forward to it. With the Kickstarter, I was able to pick up all of the extra content so that I can play that. So all that stuff got added to the Shelf of Shame, but I'm excited to get to that.
Nice. No,
I
that's
think
great.
that's the next thing that I am after. I mean, I have one-offs, right, that I find, and I try. So now that you've brought it up, I'm going to lead into this. One of my challenges was to play 200 new games, which I thought was lofty, which
Yeah.
I still think is very lofty.
For normal human beings, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
Nathan, it is very lofty.
But time of recording, it's not quite April yet. I have played 54 new games this year, so I'm a quarter of the way through the year.
You're on pace.
I'm
on
a
pace.
quarter of the way
Yeah.
through that. So
Nice
as long as I keep up that progress, that
pace?
that pace, thank you. As long as I keep up that pace, I should be on track to reach that goal.
Nice.
Wow.
That's great.
I will not be increasing that goal next year.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's put a lot of stress.
Wearing me out just thinking about it.
As far as Shelf of Shame games that I need to get to, so last week we played Aeon's Trespass Odyssey, and Will Day, our friend from down in Salt Lake, he came down and played with us.
Came up.
He came up and played with us.
You get your geography right.
I was like going south, and somehow it feels like downhill. Anyway, he came uphill. Anyway,
Okay,
so
okay Mary. Pippin.
it's a Treebeard.
I know.
So Will came up and played Aeon's Trespass Odyssey, and he mentioned that he would be interested in hopefully teaching. I don't know how long it's been since he's played it, but he was interested in maybe teaching or definitely playing Spirit Island.
Oh, really?
It's one that I ended up picking up another expansion at SaltCON, so I'm totally buying more expansions for a game I haven't yet
For a
to
game
play.
that you're not even playing.
And it's
Yeah.
one that has been on my shelf for a couple of years now at least.
Yeah.
And it's one that I'd want to try.
Yeah, it's a really great game. It was on my 10 for 10, maybe 10 years back. Not quite that far back, but several years back it was on my 10 for 10. But it's been a day or two since I've played Spirit Island. But I really like the game. You're one of the spirits, and you're trying to ward off the natives that are trying to corrupt your island, and you use floods to wash them out, and all sorts of nature's abilities to get rid of the...
I've heard it's kind of tough to win.
It is.
It
tough
is.
game.
It's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It sounds like it'd be fun. Anyway, that one's probably next on my list, hopefully, to get off of my Shelf of Shame.
I'll be curious to see what you think about that one. I gave it 3 shots.
And you didn't like it at all after 3 shots?
No,
or-
and I kept trying different spirits. I thought, well, maybe I'm just like, it's the play style or something like that. I didn't dislike it. It just didn't like set its hooks.
And you're not sure what could have set the hooks for you?
I really don't know. I kept trying it. At the time I was playing with a group that really liked it a lot, actually really wanted to like it. And that's why I kept trying to play it with them. And it just, something about the way that it plays just didn't land with me. It was like the way you kind of have to manipulate the villagers or like the native card play, and you kind of have like the before and after. I can't remember exactly how that works, but there's like early, you play some early and you play some late.
Yeah, this is all coming back to me now.
Like instead of feeling fun, it kind of felt like a chore. But here's the thing. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. This is a well-liked game, and it's really high on the BGA Top 100. Or the BGG, sorry, the BGG Top 100. play it and like it and love it and everything else. I'm not trying to like douse any fervor for it. I kept trying to like it and I really wanted to like it and it just never grabbed me.
After I played it the 10 times, I culled it the next SaltCON.
Oh, did you?
It's kind of the same reason that I like that you felt like it was a chore. That's a pretty apt description because I didn't hate it. I liked the idea of it, but it just seemed, it didn't excite me.
It felt like work.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was for me, I think. There's a whole lot of different spirits to play. I tried very different ones for all 3 that I tried to play, and maybe the next one, because they all play a little different and have a different style. If you stumble across one that kind of has a play style that you like, probably really enjoy the game. There's a lot of people who do really like it. It's a very popular game. My Shelf of Shame games coming up that I want to get played, SETI.
I'm really excited to play
it. That is next up on my Learn to Play. This week, I'm hoping to have time to actually sit down, set it up, go through, read the rule book, get everything out and organized. Hopefully, maybe even teach that this weekend. We'll see. Really want to dive into SETI. Looks like a phenomenal game. A lot of people's favorite, like top game of 2024 list for lots and lots of people out there. And I think it just broke onto the BGG top 100 as well.
Did it really? Yeah. That's awesome. It looks amazing.
I'm really excited about that one. And another one that's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while that I kickstarted that I'm really excited about is Euthia, Torment of Resurrection. So this is like a big dungeon crawl style game. And I have the Cruel Frost expansion that should be showing up a little later. So I have everything, or it's coming for this game. And I'm just incredibly excited to get this out and play it. It's a big game. There's a lot there and it's a lot to play and organize, but it also has an 8.6 on BGG.
Nice. With
a weight of about 3.5. So, and I will say that 3.5, that's kind of the sweet spot for me. I'm starting to discover games in that 3.5, give or take a little bit. Like I think most of my top games kind of hit right at about that difficulty. So I think it's one that I'll really like.
So Brad and I got the opportunity last week to play Andromeda's Edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long did that take? How late were you up, Nathan?
I was up till 2 a.m. that day.
And we left at 10.
Yes, we did.
So 4 hours? Okay.
Yeah. It was a rough teach, but I think playing it again, it will be much more gooder. Yeah,
more gooder.
Yeah, it was a coworker he loved to say it that way. We've talked about this at BGG when we were there, and we played, what's the other one that's similar to it? Not similar to it, but it's just right. I played Arcs at BGG, and that was one that I had picked up. I was anxious to play, played it, and both of you guys highly disliked it. Arcs has a lot of direct conflict. Talking about Andromeda's Edge having direct conflict as well. And so you're like, yeah, we're not going to like that one either. I think you're actually going to like Andromeda's Edge. It is area control, but it is kind of a race for area control. You're not fighting each other for area control. You're just jockeying for position. More similar to like Settlers of Catan, not comparing the games, but just that element. And so I very much enjoyed Andromeda's Edge. I think both of you guys will really like this game.
I'm looking forward to at least trying it, I guess.
I think you will like it. I genuinely think that
you will like it. Direct conflict isn't the issue for me. I actually don't mind direct conflict if I know that's what's happening going in. It was the particular way that Arcs does it. A lot of people like Arcs. I'm not here to, like I said, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. If you like those types of games, great. Go for it. I'm not here to
get sucked.
Not here to ruin that experience for other people, but and I agree, it did. I actually hate the game, but I don't like it at all. But I'm not here to try to convince other people they should hate it too.
Yeah,
it's fine. If you like it, go ahead.
Speaking of shelves of shame, have you guys added anything? Well, I know Nathan has.
So many.
Doug, have you added anything to your shelf of shame?
Yes. Shut up, Andy.
Hey, I have too.
So many. Okay, let me do a really quick. I will not spend a lot of time on this because it's just kind of numbers. I kind of went over this for January. So I've got 3 months. We're right here at the end of March. So I've got 3 months. I started in January with 296 titles. Now, I will just reiterate very briefly, this is like everything. That's miniature expansions, it's little card packs, like blister packs, it's things like that. So like if I'm just talking games, the number is closer to like 70, which is still way too many. That's way too many. This is Shelf of Shame.
Shelf of Shame, okay.
Yeah, this is like if you go in and use the BGG filters and filter out stuff that you own that you haven't played. I had 296 at the beginning of the year. And again, I just want to reiterate, that sounds like a lot, but a ton of it. For example, okay, I will just throw this out. I have like everything for Ashes Reborn. There's like 30 SKUs. There's like 30 things, right? And I just need to sit down and play it. If we sit down and start playing through some of that and pick different characters or whatever, we can knock a lot of that out really easily, right? Like, so it's stuff like that, even though it's all just Ashes Reborn would be like the game. There's a lot of line items. Anyway, okay. For some reason, like, I just can't keep up. So many Kickstarters, like, and I just feel almost like stupid that I've backed so many dumb games.
They're not dumb games.
Like, they're not. But so in January, I added 13 titles, and I only was able to play 3. I got Bear Mountain Camping Adventure, Storm Raiders, and Mistborn the deck building game off the shelf. So I started at 296 and I ended with 306. February was a lot better. I added 10 items because I got, again, more Kickstarters. This was like, this was the Elder Scrolls came in. I got Fishspan, a bunch of like expansions, and other things. But I also got 31 titles played in February.
Oh,
I got
nice. That's awesome.
31 played, removed off the list. So I went up 10, but down 31. So I ended February with 285. So I'm finally like starting to make some headway. And then in March, I've added 9 and removed 12. So I'm at 282. So started the year at 296 and I'm down to 282. But it's just because I'm adding stuff too fast. I've had too many Kickstarters fulfill at the beginning of this year. And I will say that is a faucet I have turned off. Like I really am not backing hardly anything anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting for all the stuff that's in the pipe. And so I'm still going to be getting a lot of titles this year. There's no way I'm going to get everything off my shelf of shame in 1 year, but I am determined to do as much damage as I can.
Wow. Sounds awesome.
Way to do your homework, Doug.
Well, I've started tracking it because it's gotten a little out of hand.
Well, I have added, just last year, not this year, but I've added the 2 that came to mind anyway, is Tanaris Adventures, which was exciting when I backed it. I didn't do the big $1,000.
Oh yeah,
pledge.
that's what this one was. Yeah.
With everything painted, and it was kind of a ridiculous price. But I did get the base game, and I think I got a couple expansions. I am excited to play this, but it's just a rules read, and there have been other Kickstarters that have come in that I was slightly more excited about. And then Dungeon Universalis, I was really excited to get this game. It came in, and I was just really disappointed with the quality.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It just, everything seemed cheap. I had, some of the miniatures came broken because they were just cheap 3D printed resin miniatures. And so they replaced them, and the box came damaged. Like the shipping, whoever boxed that up, it's like they chucked it in the thinnest box they could think of, didn't throw any bubble wrap in, and just taped it closed and shipped it. And of course, it came damaged.
Oh, that is really unfortunate because there's,
shipping. Was that their first time company?
No, I don't think so.
There's a lot of people that'll let that slide, but there's a lot of people that are going to demand a new copy or a refund.
So they sent me a new box. They sent me a new box for the miniatures with the new miniature that got broken, and a new actual game box. Luckily, nothing in the actual game box was broken or bent or damaged.
It was just the box itself.
It was just the game box itself. So they sent me a new box. Anyway, it just kind of took the wind out of my sails for that game. And
I get that.
I honestly, the desire to even read the rules as of right now isn't even there.
And I get that. A little thorn in the side can just really defuse a game.
Well, if it helps light the fire at all, it currently has 936 ratings on BGG, and it's sitting at an 8.7. So people who have taken the time to read the rules and get it out are really, really liking it.
I think our friend Brian, he has read the rules. So if he has, maybe he can help us get it to the table.
Yeah, that'd be good times.
I like it.
Nathan, what about your shelf?
I'm looking at some of the pictures. Did it come with all this 3D stuff, or is this what people blinged out?
That's just blinged out stuff. Yeah, it didn't come with not much at all as far as extras. The only 3D anything were just the cheap miniatures for the heroes.
Interesting.
Everything else is just cardboard, which is another thing. It's like, okay, and it wasn't even high quality cardboard, which is kind of what bothered me.
That's really frustrating.
I'm spending all that money on a Kickstarter, it wasn't a cheap Kickstarter. At least put some high quality stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's really too bad.
I would like to get those off the shelf of shame. I would, in particular, Tanaris Adventures, but I also have some stuff that I've picked up this year that I'm super excited about and may trump those. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm curious. Like, we've got stuff that's coming up. We've got stuff that's been added to our shelf. Is there anything that's sort of on our radar that we're sitting on our shelves that you're just hoping is going to be phenomenal this year? Like something that you're just like, okay, I'm not getting to it soon, but when I do, it's going to be amazing.
Conan.
Conan does look pretty good.
Does look good.
And the Hunter's AD 1492 looks really good also. I've started reading the rules for that. That may be the next one that gets played.
It's kind of interesting when we talk about these big epic games because we get excited for these big epic
Definitely.
campaign
Yeah.
games.
And it's fun to see them sitting on your porch when you get home.
Yeah. Last year and even the year before reeled back my Kickstarters. Kickstarters that I'm not getting usually big campaign ones. So Flashpoint Legacy was the only kind of campaign one that I can think of that I have. I mean, other than I did just back the G.I. Joe Conflict or whatever it is. Which
Cobra, whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have, but I went all in on that one.
It kind of looks like...
Oh, it's got my name all over it.
Yeah, yeah.
It does.
Well, it looks like Imperial Assault, only G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. I will say, if it's anywhere in that ballpark, I think we're all going to play the crap out of that thing.
That's going to be awesome.
I am way excited for it. There's a lot of content that they have coming out, a lot of characters and some side campaign quests that are adding to that. Then again, that's not till 2026, so got some time to wait on that.
Some time to burn through other games on the shelf.
Yeah, but that's my issue is a lot of the games that I have coming in are just kind of one-off games. So I don't have anything that I'm like, I have games that I'm excited about, just nothing that's really big campaign style.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate because those are the ones that we're super excited to get to.
Definitely.
We'll see what comes out of this. So I have a lot of one-offs that I'm excited about. I am excited about Andromeda's Edge, which I already talked about. My shelf of shame has grown. I'm not going to even talk about it.
We can see that it has, yeah.
And,
we have eyeballs and we come to this room and we look around and we can see.
As you try to find a place to sit.
I'm excited.
That gets harder and harder.
I'm excited for some of Doug's stuff that he wants to get to the table this year.
I am too. I'm excited for your stuff. You guys both get the big campaign games.
Yeah. The Dark Quarter just showed up on my doorstep, but they haven't done the app. They haven't completed the app yet. The app is supposed to be out next month. As soon as that drops, I can't wait to play that one. I'm hoping that's when you guys will play with me because it looks so good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. Also, my Taburu is still sitting there. Here's the thing. Part of me wants to just bust it out and start going and playing and experimenting with it. One of the big things that it advertised was everyone sit up to the table with the app and it's going to walk you through how to play. That was kind of one of the big things, is that it would teach you. And I don't want to just have that experience on my own. I want to make sure that we're all set up and that we can kind of have that experience together. So it's still sitting on the shelf. I haven't opened it and gotten it out. Hopefully that's an amazing experience. I'm more than anything just really curious about what that's going to be like. I've got a bunch of them I'm looking forward to.
Those both sound like a really awesome Friday night campaign night.
Very well could be. Yes, I like that idea.
I have to go to Doug's house for the
Taburu.
Taburu.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. Slow down. Don't hurt yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm way excited. We did get to some games. I actually had a lot of fun with this episode, and it is definitely not... Oh, it's an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
hey, close enough.
We'll see what that ends up after editing, but I don't think it's going to get too much shorter. We should probably end it at that. And what was supposed to be just a quick little episode definitely turned into something way long, but was a lot of fun. Let us know what you think. Shoot us an email at meeplenation@gmail.com. And
until next time,
we'll see you at, I was going to say the newsstand. We'll see you with the remote control catching up on what you are watching. What are you watching? Remember the X-Files? Those were good.
I loved the X-Files.
I have all of them.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So I should go back and watch some of those. Some of those are really dumb, but some of those are phenomenal.
They haven't aged well, some of them.
Yeah, some of them have not.
Those stories were so good.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good shows back in the day.
There really were. Dun, 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 dun.
I was going to try to whistle that, but I couldn't.
Wow.
Thank you for listening, and being a part of Meeple Nation. If you would be so kind as to follow, subscribe, share, and rate or review this podcast, it really helps to spread the fun. You can be more involved in supporting the podcast by joining the nation at patreon.com/Meeple Nation, or you can find a link at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. And while you're there, look at all our extra content. There are links to all our past episodes, a wide variety of blogs, pictures from our Instagram feed, and bios for all the hosts and our awesome bloggers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Meeple Nation. If you would like to chat with the hosts or other members of the nation, you can join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. We hope to see you again at a game night, a con, or maybe a suspense-driven evening of werewolf. Thank you for listening and supporting Meeple Nation, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
We want to thank Brain Detergent for our music. If you want to find more from him, you can follow his links that can be found on our webpage, or simply search for Brain Detergent on YouTube to find more of his tracks. Thank you again for listening and being part of the Meeple Nation community.